you haven't used your VA loan yet, or you're sitting on a property that you financed with a VA loan, you need to understand this before you make your next move. Because the way you use the VA loan or don't use it early on can directly affect how much freedom and flexibility you have at future bases. One of the biggest mistakes I see military families make isn't buying the wrong house, it's assuming the VA loan is a one-time decision instead of a long-term tool. And when you understand that early, it completely changes how you plan each PCS. A lot of military families fall into short-term thinking without realizing it. They'll say things like, we're only here a few years, so it's not worth buying, or let's buy our dream home, or we'd have to sell anyway, so what's the point? What's really happening is they're making decisions based on short-term ease or satisfaction at this assignment instead of how this move fits into the next 2 or 3 duty stations and the next decade of their lives. When you own a home at your current base and you're planning your next move, if you're thinking at a high level, there are really 2 paths you can take. Path 1, you sell the home when you PCS and move on with your full VA loan entitlement restored. Path 2, you keep the home to rent out, continue building equity, and then use your remaining entitlement at your next base to buy again, knowing you have the ability to repeat this strategy over multiple moves. Even VA entitlement limitations can be worked through with the right strategy. Both paths are obviously valid. The key here is understanding that buying gives you options, while renting, becoming the tenant, usually doesn't. All of this works because the VA loan is based on entitlement, and how much of that you're using at any given time matters. That's why confirming your entitlement benefit and purchase options with a VA experienced lender before you move is critical, especially in markets like the Phoenix Metro where price points vary so much by area. This is the part I really want you to hear. Your future self will thank you for paying attention. When you buy, you're not just buying a place to live, you're buying flexibility. In the military life, we do not often have any flexibility, so any we can create for ourselves should be treated like a hoard of gold and silver. You can sell and potentially walk away with money, whereas if you're the tenant, you burn that BAH. You can keep the home to rent out. No, you won't make bank every month, but as long as someone else is paying your mortgage, you're winning because you can build long-term value. Rents mostly rise over time and home values move over time, but long-term ownership has historically rewarded patience. You can then strategically adjust your plan based on your next assignment instead of being boxed into a chronic tenant situation. When you're the tenant, you leave with none of that. No equity, no leverage, no opportunity to choose what happens next. Over multiple duty stations in a 20-plus year career, that difference adds up fast. Even if you get out after one term, you'd be shocked at what you could accomplish for yourself with some forward thinking versus stuck in day-to-day survival mindset. But Julie, look at the market. It's not worth it if we're only going to be here a few years. If you're not ready to look for opportunity everywhere you go, this message may not land yet, and that's okay. But if you are, this is where things start to change. The first question to ask yourself is, what is doing this now give me the option to do later? Anytime there is more than one positive answer to that question, you're getting closer to freedom. Even families who know they can use the VA loan multiple times often still only think short term, and that's where opportunities get missed. You don't need to memorize entitlement math or loan limits. You don't have to be an expert in real estate. You do need to decide to get started. Then the professionals like me can help you verify your entitlement and set up the realistic strategy that best supports your options at this base and the next. That way you're making decisions with clarity, not assumptions. If you're active duty planning your next move, whether you're about to use your VA loan for the first time or you already own a home, the goal isn't just to get through this PCS, it's to keep your options open for the next one and to build on your future wealth along the way. That's exactly how we help military families think through these decisions strategically and not emotionally. So every move builds on the last. Of course, who you work with matters in getting the most out of your moves. If you're making a move within the Phoenix metropolitan area, like Luke Air Force Base or the 161st Refueling Wing or reserve units, my team is standing by to help. If you're making moves elsewhere, we do have a network we can connect you to. Subscribe and continue to get the best information on making smarter moves for stronger outcomes.